Welcome back. Another week of the happy hour.
Hey.
David, what's up?
Man, I am running late today. I'm sorry that we're tuning in late. We are just trying to get everything up and running. Been at
Topgolf, right?
At Topgolf here. I'm going to tune in and turn my volume down. So, yeah, we had a little company event this afternoon at Topgolf.
Man, you're getting to be a VIP out there, aren't you?
No. Well, no.
No. They love your money.
They see my swing, and they're like, whoa, let's put this guy at the end of the row.
That's good. Ashton Gustafson, the pride of Wichita Falls.
There we go.
Not Kansas or wherever the other Wichita Falls. That's Texas.
Marissa
Amazing
Byrne,
guy. Amberly. What's
Amberly
happening?
Gentry.
Everybody's favorite pharmacy, by the way.
So I am running late today. I apologize. We had a little mortgage bank event at Topgolf. A little just kind of relaxation for.
I got to your office and there was no one here.
There's nobody. Well, there's a couple people here.
Absolutely.
But, it's funny because it's into March, so it's a tough day to do it. But we tried to sneak it in, tried to get everybody some fun and hanging out and having a good time.
But the good news is it's happy hour, and you know what time it is? It's time for a little
man,
Jamaica Red Stripe this week.
These.
There we go, a little red stripe. There we go, awesome. I love this.
Collier. I put Collier in charge of picking up the beers this week, and he picks up these super slugs.
Well, I only know one way. Right? Milton. What's happening, Milton? Our good friend from Celebrity. Good dude. Hey, Nick Baker, hope you're ready for the game tonight.
Nick Baker.
Big game for Kentucky.
Hey, we do have some games tonight.
Big time. Who's Kentucky's at Kansas State, I believe, right?
I think so. I think so. It's going to be exciting. NCAA's rolling on.
Absolutely. How are the Baylor Bears doing there, Mr. Gustafson? Are they even in?
Jamaican beer. Yes, Milton Palacio likes the Jamaican beer.
Hey,
yes.
Absolutely. He's tasted probably all of them.
Kate
I
Griffin.
tell you. That's right. Is Kate here?
Yeah, Kate Griffin.
Kate Griffin?
Yes.
Now, let me ask you a question. What are the odds, if you were placing odds, that Kate, I always get it confused, Kate Griffin would marry Kate Giffen and just drop the R?
I don't know if Kate Griffin married Kate Giffen, but
no, she didn't. I don't guess. Right?
But it is Griffin Giffen.
Catlanta. He's over in Catlanta.
Cody
Clemens, FSU.
I think is playing tonight.
Big time, right?
Yeah. It's going to be some good games. It's going to be exciting. Not as exciting as last Thursday and Friday, but
Auburn kept it real, didn't they? In that second game?
We got Loyola tonight too. Loyola, Chicago. Say that fast 14 times.
Well, what do you think about Auburn? We really came to play the other night.
Auburn struggled, but they're a young team. First time being back in the tournament for a long time. Man, it's tough, man. That's a big stage.
We say that about every sport we have. We're almost there.
Well, I can't bring Georgia Tech into this.
No, because y'all cardiac arrest right on out.
We even lost our best player in the off season. That's only like 2 weeks old.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
what a great team.
Yeah.
Well, let's
get you excited.
Well, let's get at one thing I want to talk about real quickly that I had happened to a client and wanted to talk to everybody about is called Simcard Hijacking. And one of the interesting things is, you remember the Equifax data breach that we had? What was that, end of last year? It didn't just happen. They hid it from the American public and all that. But the next stage of all this is there's Shannon. Go, David. All right.
Hey, yes, Shannon.
Well, good
to see you, buddy.
The next stage of this fraud is what we call Simcard hijacking, because remember, they have all this data, right? And what ends up happening oftentimes is what do we do when we go to any of our private accounts? We have a private enter 6 numbers, two-factor authentication, and what ends up happening is they'll text you a number to your cell phone. So what these crazies have done is they've realized real quickly that they can, if they can get just hold of your cell phone account, guess what? They have the keys of the city. They have your social, they have your address, they have all that, right? And so what they're doing is they're literally taking that same information they got from the Equifax data breach, walking into, say, the T-Mobile store. Got T-Mobile was the carrier, but it could happen to any of them.
Right.
Walks in with all the real data, and guess what? For even 10 minutes, the service is switched over to the new SIM card in the new phone, and what ends up happening is, guess where that confirmation email from your bank or whoever
goes to the new phone.
Goes to the new phone.
You confirm it, you get access, and then you're off and running.
Absolutely. So one way to combat this is to go to your carrier, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, whatever, Cricket. I love the name Cricket. I don't know
Cricket
why.
Wireless.
Hey, it's cheap, but it's AT&T really, I think. But Anyway, they also have a pin, a secondary pin. Make sure you set it because the headache that this guy has been through in getting this fixed has been crazy. So just a food for thought because I had never even thought hijacking my phone.
Yeah, well, I can only imagine the identity theft and how prominent it is, and there's so many things. I mean, to me, it's just a hassle to reset all of this stuff, and I know that sounds weird, but it's even like a fender bender, in a car wreck. Like, it's more of a hassle just to sit there for 3 hours waiting for the police to come and insurance and doing all this stuff. Now, I know identity theft can be much worse than that, but man.
No, but this is the keys to the city. I mean, because right now, that two-factor authentication is where we've kind of gone to protect us.
Yeah.
And if these idiots are going to start hijacking the SIM card.
Yeah.
Now, I love for my wife today. She didn't even know what a SIM card is, by the way. She's a smart girl, but doesn't know what a SIM card is. I don't know why that matters.
Sometimes you take for granted how easy it is to get information. But I wanted to speak to Shannon Fitzpatrick on he's my buddy out in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Man, they're hopping, aren't they, right now?
Yeah, he's hopping. He's got a team of real estate agents he's bringing on board, and those guys are busy out there. I mean, I talked to his wife today. She's a real estate agent as well, and she says she's been working like 25 days nonstop, writing multiple contracts.
Are these out-of-state people? What are they typically? Who are these buyers?
Yeah, I mean, but it's similar to our market, but they probably do have more out-of-state buyers, but still writing multiple offers on properties and just working all the time trying to get things. But there's so much competition. There's so many offers on each property that it's really tough to get things nailed down and get that in there.
Absolutely. Larry Coates, if you're there, go blue.
Christy Campbell.
Yeah. All right, Christy from HRA.
Tyler Young's letting us know Loyola, Texas A&M, UK, Gonzaga. That's your winners today. Okay,
parlay them up.
So Tyler, Shannon can take those picks to the casino. Loyola, A&M, UK, Gonzaga.
If anybody's ever been to a casino with this guy that knows that, the ideal situation would be to take each one of those individually. Oh, not you.
No.
All together or none at all.
Listen, the stock market dropped 700 because I made a purchase yesterday. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what happens.
And tell everybody what your pick was.
Microsoft.
It
was for my son.
Really?
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Hey, he loves the Xbox. It's his. It was his money.
Was it? Old boy in Omaha says, "Buy what you know."
Buy what you know. He is pumped up about the next Call of Duty release.
When's that?
It's coming out later this year, and it's. I guess they alternate between Xbox and PlayStation, and Xbox has the next one. So Xbox is getting the Call of Duty, so he's thinking that.
So they're ahead of the game curve, right?
He'll think that's good for the stock.
All right, let's hop into some real estate. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, one of the big things going on right now, and I'm telling you, it happened because I even had a seller call me the other day, and she said, "Okay, we had 4 showings, and here's exactly what happened." And I'm like, "Man, how you know, right?"
Yeah, right.
And it dawned on me.
You're not supposed to be there.
You're not supposed to be there, right? Seller's not there. And this is a message to anybody that's actually buying houses out there right now. And, well, I'm just going to be blunt. Shut up when you're in the house, right? Because they're listening to you. And some of the ways that these sellers are listening to you, and you're giving away all your competitive advantage.
The buyers are.
The buyers are giving away all of it because they're sitting in there going, "Oh, I love it. This is to die for. There's nothing better, and by golly, we'll pay up to full list price and even give them some more money."
Did they have that recorded, or did they just happen to overhear that?
No, they didn't have it recorded. They had the baby monitors going.
Oh, there you go.
Which is perfectly legal, by the way. As an attorney, I'll tell you. I mean, this is perfectly legal. It's their house, right?
True.
I mean, but one of the things is that, and one of the other things that we say, it used to be just security systems that had these cameras, but now, like, what is it, Wise camera, the Wise camera, it's WYZE camera, $20 you can get on Amazon for a camera that's tied into the internet.
Man, that's awesome.
And looks like it blends in with all your other stuff.
Can you hook it up to your phone and see what's going on?
And that's what's happening.
That's perfect.
Right? And so, but what's funny is that buyers can't help themselves, right?
Yeah.
I love it, man. And then wanting to talk comps while we're sitting in there. I mean, half the time they're wanting to sit down on the couch and the sofa, and all that. Now, do I blame the sellers? Not in a million years. It's a competitive advantage.
Yeah, the sellers would want to know that information. That they would love that information. Shannon's even saying, "Yeah, don't talk in the home with clients."
I mean, it just makes sense. Not anymore. I mean, and it's funny. even if it's part of the security systems, I mean, the security systems have gotten so easy to install. It's not like you have to have them wired anymore. I don't even think hardly any of them wire them. I mean, you got Simply Safe that most people are going to, low monitoring costs, fairly inexpensive equipment.
It's amazing the technology nowadays and how easy it is, and you can just plug it right into your phone and be watching the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like the Ring video doorbell, that's totally changing things. So, and it's not just there anymore, right? I mean, I think that a lot of us tend to not think anything's there. Now, the funniest I ever saw was some dude had his hunting, like, what do you call those, where they can see the wildlife out there? I mean, this thing was big.
Yeah.
And he had it sitting up there. I was like, well, that's a little obvious.
Now, I have seen the motion sensors for hunting. But the infrared or the night lights.
Night camera.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is a big thing, right? And
it's a big, huge, obvious thing in the middle of your living room.
I mean,
it's got to stand out.
I mean, one thing I pulled, I mean, just look at, and the other thing is, too, I would think that 2-3 years ago, we would have been thinking, oh, only the rich houses have them. I love that, the rich houses. What's that mean?
It's more affordable now.
I mean, look at these prices.
It's economical.
25. I got a list here of the top ones. Look at that. 25, 49, 127, 176. I mean, all the way up to 500.
Yeah, easy to install, cheaper, price point's great.
And in fact, you have a baby monitor. Baby monitors are sitting there.
Anybody can have this.
Incognito.
Yeah, anybody can have it.
And I just think that one of the things that we're hired to do is create value and to also formulate a game plan, and we can't do that if the buyer's out talking too much.
Right, and now it is a seller's market. They may have multiple offers, but still, you don't want to tell them that you're going to pay full list price when you walk through the house, right?
Well, I just want to look at the house. And it's not that we blame the buyers. It's just that the buyers got to understand for their own
and the funny part about it is that it is an emotional purchase. I mean, this is your home, right? And you're buying this for your family. We're in the business every day, so it's a business thing for us. But, those emotions get involved, and that's what brings those comments out. It makes people react that way, right?
Absolutely. And, I think that if we really knew if we knew they were hearing, what would we say, right? I mean, I think, too, it also helps keep people to respect somebody's house, too, knowing that they're listening. I think that, too, and it speeds things along. I mean, if they know that you're not going to go lounge on the couch or play with... Now, we'll tell you, I'm a sucker for the Papa shots. You got a Papa shot? This guy's... this guy's playing. I mean, and I'm hitting the button, go. Baby monitors.
Baby mamas.
Look at that. Hey, Carrie Ballinger. Carrie Ballinger, cheers. Little red stripe, one of your favorites, I'm sure.
And it's not a little red stripe. It's a big one.
2 for the price of 1 pint.
2 for 1.
All right, let's move on to the Fed.
Man.
What happened?
I'm telling you, this was a big moment this week. Jerome Powell is his name, the new Fed chair, came in.
Federal Reserve.
There's Courtney, she's checking in. I wanted to show her the red stripe, make sure she saw what Collier produced.
Sorry, Courtney.
He's on top of it. So listen, the Fed spoke this week. They raised their federal funds rate by 1/4 point.
What does that mean?
Which was expected. It raised up to a range of 1.5 to 1.75. That's an overnight lending rate. That's a short-term rate between banks. That's when banks and credit unions lend money to each other. That counts as 2. Dubendorfer, love that guy right there. Jason Dubendorfer.
Courtney's calling us out.
I think she is. But man. Dubendorfer, love to see him. That guy's awesome.
He can't finish 2 beers though.
So listen, when the Fed's moving this rate, we moved up by 1/4 point. The market was really expecting it. So now we're at 1.5 to 1.75 the federal funds rate. That's the overnight lending rate between banks. Now, is it directly tied to mortgage rates? No, because our mortgage rates actually this morning did not get worse. There was really what we're looking for and what the market's looking for is the language of the message.
They're kind on every word he says.
Yeah,
right?
What is the Fed saying when they deliver this? So basically, they're saying the economy is still improving.
Right.
They're moving the rate up now. They still expect 2 more moves.
They were at 3, right, for the rest of the year.
Yeah, which yesterday and then 2 more would be 3 still. They're teetering on 4. And then they did increase their projection for 19 and 20. So right now at 1.75. And by end of 19, almost 3%, and then another 0.5% in 2020. So what does this mean?
Well, what does it mean to the individual? I mean, that's what I'm wondering.
So let me tell you, when the Fed rate dropped to 0% back in December of 2008.
Okay. And that was the meltdown.
We stayed there for 7 years. Okay. So now we're finally moving back up. So the economy's moving, and we've got projections now in the next 12 to 24 months of this rate continuing to rise. So it stayed put for 7 years, and now we're moving. So that means the economy's doing well, and everything is they're trying to keep things on track.
Okay.
So what that means is basically credit card rates, student loan rates, car loan rates, all of these interest rates, adjustable mortgages.
Because let me ask you this: is that because they're tied to the prime rate, which is tied also to?
Well, prime rate is directly tied to the Fed funds rate,
which means.
Yeah, another big thing is equity lines. Okay,
oh, yeah.
If you got equity lines out there, those are definitely going to be going up. So you may want to call me and talk about refinancing those into a fixed rate.
Well, you know what? It's interesting you say that because I pulled those numbers. If you had $50,000. This quarter of a point will mean $10 to $11 increase in monthly payment.
Yes.
That's if you only had 50.
Yeah, and that's probably an interest-only payment.
Probably, that's right.
Now, one thing that will happen automatically is going to be your credit card rates, and you'll probably get these statements in the mail next month that they'll say your credit card rates are increasing. So this is kind of an indicator in the economy, but it's going to affect and filter through to a lot of interest rates. It's a little slower moving into the 30-year fixed rate. So think about this. You've got the credit card rates, which are monthly, right?
Absolutely, and at their highest point they've ever been.
Yeah. So the Fed funds rate that they just moved is an overnight lending rate. Credit card rates are monthly. 30-year mortgage rates obviously are longer term. So it's going to take a little while longer. They're not directly correlated, but they are in the same family.
In the same family, but it'll be a slower burn to get to us.
Exactly.
Now, one thing that's interesting is that, the questions come up, well, what does this mean for my savings account rate? Because you go into any of these big monster mega banks, and what do they say? These guys are saying, we're going to keep it at 0.4, 0.0, however you look at it, 0.4.
On the savings rate?
On savings rate.
Yeah.
The problem is, remember, the banks are getting the benefit of this.
Yeah.
And are not passing it on to you, the consumer. That's why Capital One 360, Ally Bank, all these online banks, Discover Bank, are the places to put savings.
Man, I tell you, and Courtney will attest to this. Ally Bank is one of our favorite. They've got savings rates on the checking accounts.
Absolutely.
So which is really good.
By the way, she's an expert on that stuff.
Really is. Really is. But
Queen of cheap. In a good way.
Yeah. The interesting thing that I
hey, Brittany.
Was that we've got and Dubendorfer came back with he's coming to town. He wants a 6-pack of these
red stripe,
the double stripes.
Of course, he would ask for an import.
Oh, of course. But listen, what I think is interesting here is that they are already projecting in 2019 and 20 the moves that they're going to make on this rate. So obviously rates are moving up. So the last 10 years we've had this up and down. So rates would go up and they come back down and then they would bounce around in a range. They're definitely on the upswing. So I just talked to somebody yesterday. They're like, well, I've got these plans to do this now, and then maybe I'll refinance in 3 or 4 years.
I mean, that's a good question. Jason's asked. Should he refinance his mortgage?
Right now, yes. Right now, I would definitely look at.
But you said last week, who should though?
Who should? Okay,
yes.
So if you're already in your current mortgage and you're looking to refinance into terms, so let's say you've been thinking about it for a little while and you want to look at the market. Well, you're not going to wait to refinance. But the guy I was talking to yesterday is buying a home now. He wants to buy a home, put a little bit down, and then maybe his income is going to increase, and then down the road he wants to refinance. Don't go into a purchase right now thinking you're going to refinance in 3 or 4 years.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, because not only are you going to pay a higher interest rate, you're also going to have the closing costs again on the refinance.
Wow.
But Dubendorfer, yes, and I can get you some numbers on that.
Absolutely, and the other thing too, talk about one of the things is interesting is these arms.
I love that last name.
Are going
Dubendorfer.
to. Yeah, it's a great one.
It is.
He's German. Has to be. All right.
These arms.
Talk about these arms. Not yours, but these arms on these mortgages. 5, 10, 7-year arms, whatever they may be. They're going up.
Yeah.
But what are we going to see? Because it's not a straight return. I mean, if you're going to be in a house less than 10 years, is there a case that can be made for an arm?
It depends on your time frame. So, I just had a scenario talking to somebody that's in the medical profession, and they're buying a house now, and maybe they feel like in the next 5 years that their income is going to be higher and they're going to be expanding the family. So in that situation, a 5-year arm might make sense. Now you're still gambling that those things are going to happen just the way you plan. Now what happens if something changes and you need to stay in that house in 5 years? Then your rates are going to jump up.
But now one thing to remember there, and I've always been saying this, it's not just 5 years, because there is a break-even point at which we were paying so much more down in principal that I may actually be at a 7-year break-even on a 5-year arm, right?
Yeah, and you've got longer-term arms as well. You've got a 7-year arm, you got a 10-year arm, but some of those 10-year rates get really close to the 30-year rates, so sometimes that doesn't make sense. But definitely there is a market for the arms, and we haven't seen that popularity much in the last 10 years.
Because it was so low on the fixed.
Yeah, now, because rates have been
is there
so
a discount they get from getting an arm in terms of closing costs or anything like that?
No, typically, and this might be a little more information than you need, but typically the margins are tighter on the arms, so you typically have to pay, sometimes you have to pay a little more in closing costs on the arms.
So really we need to be looking at the total cost of the loan, what we would call the APR, right?
Yes.
The total cost, what's it costing me? And Courtney, if you're on here, let us know your thoughts on these arms. You think she's got an opinion?
Oh, of course. She may not share it with us, but she certainly has an opinion.
Yeah, well, I tell you what really ticks me off, though, are these banks that are not, these big monster mega banks, not passing on those interest rate increases to the people that are providing the money for them to then loan out.
Yes, yeah, and one of the other things that you're speaking about, things that bug you, I heard a commercial this morning about no out-of-pocket closing costs on a refinance. That's still
no out-of-pocket costs.
Still drives me nuts.
Now, what's the catch there?
They're taking it out of your house, not out of your pocket. Okay, so you're still going to pay another $5,000 or $10,000, let's say $4,000 to $6,000. They're just going to add it to your loan amount, so you're not going to have to physically write a check. But they're taking it out of the equity of your house instead of taking it out of your pocket. So there's no out-of-pocket closing costs, right?
Well, it's all, look, everybody's trying to play catch up.
It's all marketing.
Well, and quite frankly, that's more misleading to me than I'll pre-approve you. And I mean, the problem is I think a lot of the local lenders are not, and y'all are not one of these, but there are some that are trying to react to the Rocket Mortgage with unbelievable calls to action that truly are unbelievable.
Right. I mean, why are people still drinking Coca-Cola?
Right.
Because of marketing.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we can sell anything in the United States, and that's just another example.
Absolutely. So, well, moving on.
Yes.
All right. Wanted to share with everybody, talking about Uber. Did you see Uber had a...
I saw the video.
The video, yes. And the best is... Now, let me ask you a question. If anybody doesn't know, Phoenix, Pittsburgh, there's a few areas in the country.
And it's a terrible happening.
No, it's terrible.
It's awful that this happened.
But they have driverless
vehicles. Look at Mario's ringing in with Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Shooting down my Coke. Thank you, Dubendorfer.
They're running these pilot projects where they have driverless cars that are picking up passengers and everything else. Now, where I was going with this is they do have a backup driver. Now, let me ask you a question.
They do have somebody in the driver's seat. But now Tesla had a problem with this, too.
Yeah, but if somebody's crossing the road in front of you, when is it that the backup driver should back up?
Man, and I'll tell you,
I'm just asking.
From watching the video, it was really hard to see that person coming across the road because it was in a dark stretch of road.
Yeah,
and it was not in it didn't seem like to me that it was a regular crosswalk. So
hey, fair game, right?
But dangerous.
Oh, dangerous.
Dangerous for the pedestrian. They got run over.
Well, no, it's a sad event, but at the same time, I don't want to see the innovation stop here because somebody...
No, and I don't think the innovation is going to stop. I think we are moving towards driverless cars, and if Courtney's still on, she is praying that we have driverless cars
by the time
her daughter gets a driver's license. So, yes. it's gonna continue, but we're gonna have these kind of hiccups. It was
Absolutely.
a terrible thing.
It was crazy. But here's the interesting thing that we were going to bring up today is that Uber is having an effect on auto sales and also the car rental companies that, quite frankly, financially, I find pretty fascinating that they can have this big of an effect on the number of people renting the cars in each city. And it's very dependent upon if the city's set up, not like Birmingham, where it takes a year to get from one side to the other in rush hour.
Yeah.
Right? Because it would cost too much, but you'd want to rent a car. But most of the major places we would go, Chicago, New York,
and those are highly populated areas, right?
Right.
And so in highly populated areas, you have more people, obviously, but when you have more people, you've got more sales. So those are the areas where you would be selling more cars to individuals because you got one person per car.
And it downsizes to the
now,
parking, right?
If they start sharing, then that's obviously that's where you're going, right?
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
they start sharing, then that's going to hurt the car sales because you've got multiple people.
Absolutely. And then, the other thing that's interesting is that some of these rental car companies have invested and actually purchased like a Zip car. I think one of them bought, maybe it was Avis, that are found actually in Tuscaloosa has it, where basically you go rent the car for the hour. You pay a membership fee that's very low. Insurance, everything's included. You rent it by the hour and $15 an hour.
I think that's going to be a new thing.
I mean,
yeah.
If Tuscaloosa can do it, that can tell you they're coming to more cities.
Oh yeah.
The other thing here is that Toyota, GrabCar, if you're not familiar with GrabCar, is Uber's competitor in Asia. And because, the agents, they always have an answer to anything we do.
Of course.
Right? It's a good thing. I mean, I like it.
Yes.
But Toyota has now...
That's what keeps us sharp.
Right.
That competition is what keeps us sharp. And they probably look at us and think, we're just over here having fun and partying and...
What idiots.
Yeah, they're just hanging out.
Well, you go get the lights, and I'll keep talking. Ben Chenault, who owns Mortgage Bank, must have turned them off on us.
Yeah.
From his iPhone, probably, as high-tech as he is.
It.
But the fact that the car dealers, not the car dealers, but these car companies, Toyota, major investment in these companies, is telling me that they're even acknowledging they would not invest in this if they didn't see a shift happening. And then the ultimate question, when I brought it up to you earlier, is... where are we going to see this sharing economy into the real estate market? Where do you think we'll see some of that?
Well, that's interesting because another article that we shared today between us was the fact that rents are going up, right? Mm-hmm. And so right now this market is tough with the inventory and interest rates going up, prices are going up. It's taking longer to purchase, so. The average buyer may be going out looking at a couple houses, writing contracts, getting shot down, and they get frustrated and they're like,
I'm done.
I'll just rent for a little while. So, on the top of this story, what's to say that they don't kind of combine it and kind of share houses in different cities and maybe come up with some type of
snowbirds, right?
Uber or a sharing type of system.
That is the new model of the timeshare, right?
Yeah.
Where you're not obligated. I mean, the problem with the timeshare was it went into perpetuity, and it sucks when you couldn't get out.
Yeah.
Right? But in this case, they have enough demand where they can keep it rented, but their options are there, and it's just evolving. And I think, one of the things that we talked about before is a lot of this sharing, whether it be...
Mario liked the lights out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mario.
The car sharing, the home sharing, all these.
Drew Schuler, how you doing, buddy?
Is that these municipalities better get... That's the forward, right? And that's where we're headed.
Yeah,
in some way, shape, or
and I think in some cities, maybe areas, it could work, but it also could be, like you've got a house in 4 or 5 bedrooms and a couple of guest bedrooms, and you just rent those out or share those.
Because there are a lot of. I mean, imagine these. It's interesting. A lot of these big towns, I should say, where a lot of the companies are renting these houses for them. They're leasing back bedrooms, like you say. You're a young professional. You're moving to a town. You don't know everybody. Man, how cool is that? You got built-in roommates that are working the same place. You're paying far less, keeping more of your money, able to get some retirement built up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see the downfall of all this, but some people do.
It definitely could be a market there.
Absolutely. Well, I know
Drew Schuler. Good to see him, man. I went to high school with that guy.
Really?
Yeah, we had
stories.
Oh man, we had a lot of stories, but his his Cadillac was the best.
Cadillac.
Yes.
Low riding?
No, he had a beautiful Cadillac back in high school.
Slick. What'd you drive?
Nothing nice.
Nothing nice.
No.
A 82 Accord?
Yeah. I think it was an 84 Dodge Omni.
Dodge Dart.
If you don't even know what that is.
It's like similar to Wayne's World when
Yeah.
they were driving around in their little car with 9 people in it.
Yeah, kids won't even know what that is.
Well, I know it's spring break for a lot of people. I'm headed down to Miami tomorrow
Next
to
week,
jump
yeah.
on a cruise.
Cruising.
Where are you going?
I'm coming back to work.
Man, somebody's got to do it. My
Man.
team's still here.
Man, he is
living the dream.
living the dream. It's the life of Collier.
Yeah, well, I
Collier.
scheduled them so far advanced because I got one. You're going with us next year.
Next year, yeah.
A year from now on the new ship. But, man, we love celebrity, and they're so good to our kids, and you know how they are. I mean,
Yeah. It's going to be fun for you next week.
phenomenal. Yeah, headed down there, Key West. You need me to bring you anything back? Anything?
Probably.
All right, yes.
So we're going to try to hook up next Thursday.
I'm going to try to be there from Grand Cayman.
Yeah.
I'll try to do the Facebook
So
Live.
we will see you guys
Equinox, Milton
next
calling it out.
week. Milton Palacios. So thanks for tuning in.
All right. Y'all have a safe week. Happy spring break and happy Easter. If I don't talk to you, if I can't get a signal down there, happy Easter. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.